ready for this jelly.
Look up at the camera, people. Do you want to run a fun and engaging and exciting heist in Dungeons and Dragons?
No.
What's wrong with you?
Well, since Brandon doesn't have his show notes, I'll finish this. Well, stick around for today's topic. Here's the crime, a guide to capers and heists, and I am super excited for this. It is awesome. This is a must-have product. Hello and welcome, heroes, to the Crit Academy. I am your host, Justin.
I'm your co-host, Ian.
I'm your co-host, Brandon.
Yeah.
My show notes up.
We hope to inspire you with creative content that you can bring with you on your next adventure. Today, we are about to dive into one, in my opinion, one of the fun aspects of playing a rogue that 5th edition doesn't cover very well. And of course, that means somebody else had to fix it or at least write some details. You got your show notes up yet?
I'm working on it.
So we all know films and shows like Ocean's 11, Mission Impossible, and Leverage make capers incredibly entertaining to watch. But we know that it can be difficult to capture that same excitement at the gaming table.
Well, playing some sessions can develop into tedium at times, and the capers itself can feel like just a regular dungeon crawl without really any twists or surprises.
Yep. Well, here's the crime. A guide to capers and heists helps you to evoke the energy and mood of our favorite heists and capers by breaking it into 4 possible approaches over 3 different phases. And I'm excited to talk about this today. As I said, this is an absolute amazing product and is something that everyone and their mother who wants to run a successful 5th edition caper needs to really delve into. So I'm gonna have to put these side by side so I can still keep track of chat.
Yep.
All right. So let me zoom this out a little bit. No, I can't. All right. Let's get it up. We'll pull it up on screen so you guys can kind of follow along with us as we do this. Here, boom. There it is.
And it's also worth noting too, like the whole document's like what, 6 pages?
Yes,
So.
it's why is that making that big? I don't want it to make it big. Figure it out. There we go. I got it. All right. That's the wrong one. Alicia will fix that, right? All right. So let's scroll through this bad boy here and take a look. As Ian mentioned, it's only 6 pages long, but this is the best 6-page supplement I've ever had.
It's on the list.
It is on the list. So, do you have the notes? Brandon, do you want to tell, as I mentioned, it's broken across 3 phases. Brandon, do you want to tell us about phase 1?
Phase 1 is the plan. Players choose from a collection of approaches that will form the base of their caper. Once the base is set, the party preps their approach. The supplement guides the characters through planning and the creation of their scheme. This makes it specific enough to influence the narrative, but leaves it open to surprises.
Now, without going into too many details, the main capers, it focuses on our hit jobs, well, killing somebody basically, con jobs, lying into something to trick somebody, heists, well, stealing, and work the mark and manipulate somebody socially.
I like the description for hit job. Accomplish the goal with violence.
So Dulcinea says, I like to go the way of Elder Scrolls route, which no one dies on a caper. They're thieves, not assassins. And that's a really good approach, I think, especially when you're playing heroic characters, right?
Although I'm totally one of those guys who's often like, nobody can sound the alarm if no one's alive.
So let's talk about some of these because we're gonna. They give us some really great details to kind of go through here when referencing each of these different options. Now, obviously, you can expand on these if you want, and that's gonna be your prerogative because you might have some good additions to it. But here we talk about the hit. It talks about the hit job, which is you have to basically tell them that you have them tell you the target and where they want to ambush to happen. So let's say their job is to assassinate a noble, right? You put it in the player's hands. Where do you want to do this? Well, they're going to have to figure out where the best place is, right? How do you think they're going to go about that?
That entirely depends.
For a noble?
Yeah, we'll use a noble because that's the most common snooty a-hole that needs a good, hit job, right?
Yes.
So what are some ways as player characters you would come up? Because if as the DM, it's my job to say, tell me where this is going to go down. Where are you hitting them?
Huh. You can always bribe like the noble scribe or something like that to figure out what his destination schedule is going to be.
Okay.
Figure out where he's going to be going, where they're going to be heading. Or you could bribe off some guards and take their armor, pretend to be a guard.
Okay, so you're talking about hitting them in their home base, right? Or in their house, right?
Either at home or on their way to some like thing.
Let's use something that we used in the past game. We know that the noble is going to be throwing a party.
Okay.
Which is going to be a relatively public event with other people, well, more people than usual going to his establishment.
Okay.
So that could offer possible avenues to get in. Like, be it forging documents to say, I'm a guest, or getting hired to be the help.
Yeah, and I think this is a really good, you make a really good point there, because that's an opportunity to exercise the more social aspects of the player's features. I'm thinking disguise kit, forgery kit, all those things come into play there. And by asking the DM, hey, or by the DM asking the players, you're forcing them to do a few things. They got to now do reconnaissance, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have to know, okay, we're going to hit them at the masquerade. When is it? What time is it? What guards are there? Right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that kind of expands that option, because now it becomes, how are you going to do it? We know the goal is to take them out, but you're basically asking them to solve their own problem and build their own adventure, which honestly makes my job easier as the DM, right?
Ooh, if it's a masquerade, if everybody's wearing a mask, they may not be having their face on display in public, so you don't know who it is, even if they're in plain sight.
Ooh, and if they're like a mob boss, they might be used to this sort of shit, so maybe they have a doppelganger.
Yep.
Not the actual monster, though they could have the actual monster who is a stand-in for those same things. And if the players don't take the right precautions, or they roll wrong on the information gathering, they may assassinate the wrong target and now have a new enemy.
Yep.
Oh, I love that.
Sounds like
only for the mob to go as planned.
It sounds like the assassination of the Skyrim Emperor.
Dulcinea says, in my home game, the mob added an item a certain noble really wanted to an auction house to guarantee his attendance. Once there, he didn't make it out to collect his new item. See, that's another strategy. You're luring them to a location that you want to do the hit job.
Hey, come here. I got some good
All
for
right. So let's take a look here at the next one for the first planning phase, which is the con job. So if the caper is a con job, what is the method of deception? You want to broadly know what they're lying about, but not every single detail on the con. So a couple examples are, we want her to think I am her long lost uncle, is a perfect amount of detail. It gives you a lot to work with. I am going to pose as their bodyguard is another great example. You don't need to know how they are deceiving yet, just what the core lie to the con is, right?
I'm a great lost aunt and I've been put in jail. I need you to send me 100,000 gold and I'll send you 5,000 gold or 500,000 gold back in return.
That's the old Nigerian prince one, huh?
Yeah, it is.
So what are some other con jobs we can talk about? So I like the general thought. Okay, the job is Dulcinea just said about stealing or killing somebody with an item in auction. What if the goal is to must pay an Amazon gift cards? What if the con job is to swap out something that's real for something that's fake at a well, no, that would probably fall more under heist, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so what's another good con job?
You trying to sell them an art piece that has a sending stone inside it.
Ooh, so you're trying to leave something to track them. That's like a reverse heist.
Yeah. Here's why you should buy our piece, sir. Our very valuable piece.
I like that. Trying to sell them something.
Pretty much selling something to somebody is not worth as much as you're saying it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
I would say a really good con job that players could do, that at least in mine, is conning a dragon out of something in their hoard for something that's not as valuable.
Like, here's a good example. I got this rock for sale. This rock is $10. You want what's so special about it?
What?
It keeps tigers away.
Keeps tigers away?
Yeah.
No way.
Do you see any tigers around?
Oh, son of a bitch.
There you go. It's a rock for $10.
So, but what's the benefit? Why you're trying to get them for that, but why? Because there needs to be a goal right behind the con.
To get money. That's
So
what.
you're just selling pet rocks, basically.
Yeah, that's what a con
Which is
about.
the ultimate con.
Yeah.
Congratulations to that guy.
It's a weather rock. How's that work? Well, when it's wet, it's raining.
I like that. So Dulcini says, fun fact, in Thieves' Cant, a penny waiter is a thief who specializes and replaces expensive artifacts with cheap copies without getting caught. I think that's a great segue into the heist. I'm less experienced with the con job, so that's certainly something I think I want to delve into a little more at some point.
That's awesome.
What?
The Andrews.
Let's
idea.
click it right here. Oh, did that work? Okay, so it says Andrew says a fun con job selling the druid wild shaped as a. Is this my own player tip back at me?
Probably.
I think we've covered this. Selling the druid wild shaped as a horse, then the druid sneaks away at night and the party repeats it in each town for extra gold. I'm pretty sure that was a player tip.
I'm pretty sure that's a better tip.
It's easier to sell a cold item than a hot one after all. Absolutely. All right. So then, Brandon, do you want to tell us about heists?
Oh, the heist and the method is. If the method is a heist, you want to know where they're sneaking in and when. Players will be tempted to spend 40 minutes arguing about it. If the east window or the west window is better, don't let them in. Or don't let them.
Okay.
We're hitting the wizard's tower while everyone is distracted by the tournament. Or we're entering the archives through the sewers. A heist, this is Ocean's 11 is the perfect example of heisting.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So let's
Dragon Heist if you played it.
Let's talk a little bit about that then. So, the heist is something that I really, really like because, and let's use the example we just talked about with sneaking into an auction house and replacing an item.
Yep.
That to me is interesting because magic items are a thing. So if somebody has this powerful magic item, that just kind of sits at their waist most of the time or is on show, trying to sneak in, replace that for your own benefit and not let anyone. So you know what's cool about this is there's a spell just to do this. Did you know that? It's like
no.
the magical aura, Niatel's magic aura.
There's so many spells in this game.
But it's designed to make somebody think something is what it's not. Specifically giving it magical effects and auras and even changing ones that they do have. So I love the idea of asking, okay, you guys have to acquire this item. It is in a vault, in a Adventurers Guild, and they're very powerful. If they catch you, you are dunzos. So now you have to not only get in, you have to get out and make sure they don't know that you took what you took. Because as soon as they do, your ass is going to be destroyed.
Yep.
What do you guys think? How would you go about something like that?
I do not know. I don't think about heists very often. The only things I know about heists is I watched a little bit of Ocean's 11, and there was a heist episode on Futurama.
And there's a heist episode of on Rick and Morty which parodied heists.
Yeah. Dulcinea says conjuration wizards can create simple items that are obviously magical, but will collapse in an hour. A conjuration wizard working with a penny waiter could give you a 60-minute head start. That's really cool, and I love that because that a criminal background paired up with a wizard is not something we get very often.
No.
So being able to pop stuff in and out and swap it in and out with random equipment and selling that to a merchant, that might work in like low-level villages, but I feel like in big cities that's kind of been done, so they'd be aware of it. But I feel like you can get a lot of run out of that. Ian, do you want to tell us about work? Were you gonna say something?
You know, going off that summoning stone thing I mentioned earlier, artificers, if they have an hour with something, can use their infusions to make summoning stones.
Okay.
Okay, we got about 1 hour after the stuff is produced at the auction house, where it's put in the storage room before it's given to the owner. So he get me in there.
I like it. Ian, do you want to tell us about the fourth option in phase 1, which is working the mark?
Oh yes, working the mark, working the
And one
mark.
thing I've noticed is that a lot of these categories do kind of touch on each aspect of it, because if you have to do a heist, you might also have to pull off a con job first.
Yep.
So I can see it working in like layers, right?
Yep.
No.
Now, working the mark is basically you try to compel somebody to do an action in some way, shape, or form. Like some of the examples given, it was like, okay, we're gonna find this guy, we're gonna check him down, we're gonna try to compel him to open the safe.
Okay. I
Open
like
up
that.
the
That's a
safe.
good
It just got a
example.
lot to say.
And sometimes it's even that's a really good straightforward one.
Yep.
But getting leveraging some sort of juicy goodness to get a specific noble to vote against somebody else when you're trying to get a particular law passed or trying to get a faction to agree with you. I also think that you could take the work the mark as on the blackmail route, which it mentions here, which I really, really like, because nobles are notorious for having skeletons in their closet, right?
Oh, yeah.
So gaining that information might be part of a con job or a heist to gain a document just so you can work that mark to vote the way you want. I love how they all do just kind of mesh together, don't they? What do you think, B?
They can for sure.
They do. They oh. I'm trying to think of working the mark, and that's right there. Seducing someone to get more information. You're coming across this guy, this magical lock.
Yep.
Changes once every day, and there's only one guy that knows all the passwords. So you're gonna work the mark, and you're gonna get him to tell you what it is, and that's where you're gonna pull off your con by switching this stuff off.
All right, I see.
For the heist.
I like that.
And that's a few examples, and that is phase one at 7:20. So we better get
Oh
moving.
shit! Yeah. Okay. So
Really?
remember, prepping the caper is all about having a fairly broad in order to drive this forward, and gets more nuanced as they go.
Yeah.
Brandon, you want to tell us about phase two?
Phase 2, the job is done.
No.
No, not done. It's on. My glasses are broken. Sorry. The job is on. In phase 2, you jump right into the action after picking a face, quote unquote. A player will make an approach roll to determine how smoothly the first steps of the caper went. Then you'll place a series of complications in their way, which the PCs will navigate through skill checks, combat, and flashback effects. That sounds a lot like skill challenges.
Yep.
It very much, it very much is.
Yep. And I do want to make note of the flashback effects because they borrowed this from the RPG Blades in the Dark, which is a RPG that focuses on heists.
We were online talking about something. He's like, I should really read this, and he holds up the book. I was like, I'm pretty sure some of the ideas come from that book.
It does.
But you want to expand on that since you have a little experience with it?
Basically, the general concept of is like, okay, I'm approaching this obstacle ahead. Here's what I did in the past to overcome the obstacle, set things up in my favor. Like now, like for example, it's like, okay, I kept watching on the patrols. I know that they always change on every 15-minute mark. I know that gives me a window
of 15 minutes. So,
well, more like 90 seconds where the door's not guarded. So that's when I make my move.
Oh, I like that. I also think that it could work really well with the flashback effect of, all right, you get to the door or the where the guards are at, and you kind of nod to each other and you say, "Hey, what's going on, Bill? How's the kids? Doing pretty good? Awesome. I'm gonna see you next week for poker, right? We'll toss the dice, maybe some six dragon ante or dragon ante.
Whatever.
I want to play some games, right?" And the DM will look at you and says, "Okay, what happened?" Well, actually, I met him, 24 hours ago. I made a deal with him. I bribed him a little bit. Here's the gold for that. He agreed to pretend to be buddies, let us in, slip right through the front door. Nobody would expect it. And all it is you just deciding what to do at that moment that makes sense for that situation. What about you, B? Let's say
that confused the hell out of me.
Let's say that your job is to steal a cart. And
Okay.
the cart is
cabbages?
traveling between point A and point B. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Is this a math question?
No, it's not. So you guys are on the road. The cart is going to be passing with part of 3 wagons. How are you going to steal that cart? The cart's pulling up.
Yep.
You just
The cart's pulling up.
Yeah. What did you plan?
Let's see. I come up to the driver and say, "All right, I hope you you had a good ride so far. We're gonna do our
a
switch.
shift change.
We're gonna do our switch up because you've had a long day. So
Here's your horse.
make sure you go and visit your family. Thanks. I'll take over from here." But that doesn't really take care of the other 3 carts that are surrounded.
No, but that's part of it. That might be only phase 2, right?
Mhm.
Phase 3 is coming up,
Oh yeah.
right? So with the there's a couple different approaches you can take when you're doing the more face-to-face aspect, right? Picking a face, the player that'll
Yep.
do the discussions. They actually have some things here that actually show, you different modifiers depending on what they're doing. So if you pick the barbarian as the for the hit job, that's going to have a different approach than, say, if you pick the bard for the hit job, and they kind of give you some guidance to that. We're running out of time, so
Yep. On to phase 3.
so I guess I'll take that one. Where are we at here? Did I pass it?
Probably.
No.
Okay, so phase 3. In phase 3, the PCs will finally reach their goal. They'll work together as a team, execute a perfect coordinated plan, like clockwork, and escape with no one the wiser. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to the getting the score and everything unfolding, there's great ways to do. They actually have a caper skill challenge in here, by the way. You guys mentioned that earlier. So now that they've got the score, for me, this is also the opportunity to keep, when you're going through this, keeping track of all the skill checks. And this is the opportunity where they can succeed, but at a cost, right? So for me, when you do skill challenges, you can succeed, but still have a complication or a challenge to overcome after the fact, right?
Aha, I found out you're planning to assassinate me, so I knew that you knew.
But I knew that you knew that we would find out, so I knew that.
So, so what I'm envisioning, let's say your guys' goal is to get into this auction or get into this vault, steal this magical mirror, right? That's your goal. You guys have stumbled along the way. You've got into the vault. But just previously, Brandon failed his stealth check.
Fuck me.
During the infiltration, he knocked over a vase. And unfortunately, somebody heard. So now you've got the item. It's in your hands. But because there was a failure along the way, you now have the alarm going up. So now you have a whole new set of challenges to overcome to escape. Now, when I do skill challenges, if you... Go ahead.
Plot twist. Another thief heard about your heist because somebody failed a check earlier, so therefore he thought he would take advantage of it, set up a distraction, so Brendan would screw up, which would create an opening for him to go into the vault.
That is totally something Black Cat would do.
Yep.
I was playing in the Spider-Man games where all the bank robbers are going on and stealing stuff. Spider-Man swoops in to kick their butt, and at the last second, she helps and then swipes off with what she wanted. So they stop the big thing, but some complication caused him to get it. So I like the idea of not a guard being outside there, but a villain holding a big giant horn saying, all right, if you don't give that to me, you're going to be locked in there as they're shutting the vault door. Oh, maybe. I just love this. This is a very short document, but it has got so much goodness in it. Garwin says, if you have access to glibness, it might be fun to use, though it might have to be a high level for this. Absolutely. And I think higher levels are actually more challenging because now you have to deal with magical wards and stuff that are definitely present. Maybe hire an archmage to cast on you. Nice.
Okay, I took some measurements, and the vault doors are 5 feet thick, and I'm going to go ahead and cast the blink spell to go to astral plane, run forward 10 feet, which will get me to the vault, into an open area, and blink back in there.
That's nice. I like that. So there's a lot you can do with this, right? And once again, it's a small document. I highly recommend picking it up if you can. Use our affiliate link. We do get a small kickback when you guys buy from using. If you click on any of our products that takes you there, we get a small kickback. So when you plan to buy from DM's Guild, take one of our links there. But yes, please add this to your DM toolkit.
Oh, complication. You guys need a spell scroll to execute the heist, but due to the negotiations, you guys pissed off the archmage that you were trying to get the scroll from, so he intentionally gave you a bad document so the scroll does not work during the key point during the plan.
No. All because the bard did some smack talk or some shit.
Why isn't this shit working? Give me this.
Yep.
It's not real.
The writing's changing. That's for banging my wife.
That damn bard. All right.
Ouch.
So I think that'll do it for Here's to Crime, a guide to capers and heists. Huge kudos to the creator of the document, whose name is Jimmy. Jimmy Meritt. Well done. You got a buyer in me, obviously, because we're talking about it. It's a good product, man. Well done.
Yep.
So before we move on to our unearthed tips and tricks, I would like to let everyone know that Capes and Crooks, a 5th edition superhero RPG, is going to be available January 15th. Woo! January 15th on Drive-Thru and on Crit Academy. I am so excited for this. I cannot tell you.
Yep.
We did launch it on Kickstarter. We didn't quite hit our goal, which meant I had a bunch of work to do. I had already put a year or plus of work into it, so of course we pushed it. If this is something that excites you and you are interested in the Kickstarter, please consider picking it up on day one. It drives it up to the top of the charts, so more people will see it. It would mean a lot to us, and I promise it's a lot of fun. At least this guy can attest to it because he got to play.
Yeah. And now,
our Honor tips and tricks.
And now, what you've all been waiting for. Our Unearthed Tips and Tricks segment, where we bring you new and reusable material for both players and DMs.
Alrighty then. Every week we bring you fancy stuff, so let's talk about our character concept, Nanan Fall Pride, a female elf.
I thought that said nay. I was gonna fucking hate you.
do not start that again.
Just watch me whip.
Stop it.
Okay,
What you
anyway,
done?
so she tends to wear a green tunic over her dusty white colored trousers and shirt. Her skin is fair and her fingers are delicate and long. Her dark hair is slicked back into a classic pompadour look. Her eyes, emerald.
Personality-wise, she tends to act rather bluntly. She is, however, far more gentle than she would appear. Though, under her gentler side lies a very good compulsive liar and kleptomaniac.
That's perfect for our topic today.
Historically gifted from a young age, Nanan, God damn it, is studied away from home. After coming to the age of reason, Nanan took it upon herself to study the contracts and binding magic in its entirety. Because of this, she was labeled a dark omen and banished from her homeland. She routinely visits covens of witches seeking good among the evil, but complains that many are fraudulent and lack true knowledge of power. Or power.
For her motivation, she seeks to prove that the study of the dark arts aren't what makes someone evil, but the intent of the user and the manipulation of the dark creatures are at fault.
Oh, yeah.
That makes sense.
Look what you've done, Brandon.
So I really like this character because I love the idea of playing like a necromancer or a darker character, a warlock that makes a deal with an abyss creature. Abyssal patron, and leveraging that and saying not everyone that touches the darkness is bad.
Nope.
What do you guys think about that?
I like that idea. Because in D&D, everyone assumes that if you touch the darkness, you're fucking bad.
Yes.
That's always the truth.
But having somebody do that, like Andrew says, right, necromancy is inherently evil. In 5th edition, I think many of the cure spells are necromancy.
Yes.
I'll slap you so hard.
Yeah. Now I flashback to one time in Pathfinder where a guy kept on trying to insist on me to inflict wounds on the evil spell because it was necromancy.
Right.
To which I replied, how is that any more evil than lighting somebody on fire with burning hands?
Oh my god.
Anyways, I will slap you so hard it'll be like hitting a Mario coin block, all right?
Eat my ass. Delcinia. Necromancers are just clerics with bad timing.
Sorry, I'm late. So yeah, this straightforward. This is a pretty fun character concept. I definitely think it'll work well with. Dude, can you just imagine having a healer in your party who is like the epitome, looks exactly like the Grim Reaper, right? Who's that? Dark and scowling. He's our healer. What?
He carries a scythe. He's so pale. Are you sure? Yeah. He's our healer because he decides whether you die or not.
We must avenge my brother. All right, so that's a pretty straightforward character concept that I really enjoy and I think will make for a great PC or NPC. Use it. Enjoy it. You're welcome.
All right, next up we got for our master variant, the Mastermind Thief. Starting the origin, you take the stat block for the vampire spawn, and the first features on the chopping block are its various resistances, regeneration, vampire weaknesses, claws, and the bitey feature.
I love the chopping block reference. That's awesome.
Uh-huh. New features are cutting action. One each of its turns. The mastermind, once on each of its turns, the mastermind can use a bonus action to take the dash, disengage, or hide action.
Make it bigger for you, blind old man.
No, it's spelled wrong. It's grammatically wrong because you spelled it.
Oh, you mean one? Oh, fuck you, dude.
Anywho,
we're also going to give it evasion. If the mastermind is subjected to an effect that allows it to make a dex saving throw to take only half damage, it instead takes no damage if it succeeds in only half on a fail.
yeah. And they also gain Master of Tactics. The mastermind can use the help action as a bonus action.
Ooh.
In addition, when it uses the help action to aid an ally in attacking the creature, the target of that attack can be within 30 feet.
Ouch.
He's over there!
That's a big deal.
You think?
Yeah.
That's why they're the mastermind. They have minions like you do all the work.
Sneak attack once per turn. The mastermind deals an extra 7 or 2d6 damage when it hits a target with a weapon attack and has advantage on the attack roll. That makes also the help action there.
Yep.
Or when the target is within 5 feet of an ally of the mastermind that isn't incapacitated and the mastermind doesn't have disadvantage on the attack roll.
Justin, this creature does a lot of damage. Yeah, it does.
That's the point.
We're also going to give it a short sword with 1d6 plus 3 piercing. And my personal favorite, we're going to give it the crossbow that the drow uses, which means when it hits somebody, it poisons them. And if they fail by 5 or more, unconscious. Suck it.
Fail what? By the save?
Con save, yeah.
Yep.
They just drop unconscious.
Yep. That's not in a
The
high
fuck?
enough characters, in my opinion. Like, the
Yeah.
drow's like a 1/4 or 1/8 or some bullshit.
And as a reaction, they gain Uncanny Dodge. When the
Justin.
attacker that the mastermind can see hits from an attack, it can use this reaction to, well, cut the attack's damage in half.
I love it. I love it. What do you guys think?
Fun.
This, to me, was my idea for the perfect villain in a guide to a caper or heist, right? Somebody who manipulates other people and makes them better, but in their own right are still pretty solid. Let's not forget that we did not remove spider climb from this creature.
Nope.
So as a DM, I would say give them spider climbing shoes instead of the mechanic. That way, when the players do win, they get a prize.
If they win.
Well, if they win. Plus, once again, the idea of fighting a character or an enemy hanging from the ceiling is just too good to pass up. What do you guys think overall?
It sounds like Catwoman.
Yep.
She's a mastermind thief.
This is the day you should remember when you almost captured Valjean, Mastermind Thief.
Oh my god, now I want to give him a decoy doppelganger. You should see the artwork for this that I'm releasing to our patrons with the lore and everything. It's awesome. She looks badass.
That looks like a fun
Alrighty.
character concept.
Which one?
Dulcinea. I played a game with
Yep.
the thing. It's really nice.
So Dulcinea says, I played a game where the necromancer was an arcane detective raising and speaking with the dead to learn what happened when they died to bring their attacker to justice.
That sounds so much
That
so much
is
fun.
so awesome. I love that. Well done. All right. Overall, this is a pretty solid character concept. Obviously, it's very much inspired by and has a bunch of the rogue in the mastermind rogue powers. That's kind of what I was going for. But the drow poison just perfect. Brandon, would you like to tell us about our encounter?
Our encounter of the podcast is False Defenders. Clovis Whitefoot, a male spy and leader of the White Rabbits Thieves Guild, needs some assistance. Despite being thieves, the White Rabbits aren't too bad. Clovis informs the characters that they mostly repair locks, tools, and other small trinkets, and keep out dangerous critters and bandits out of the small village. A character that asks around town and succeeds on a DC 12 intelligence investigation check quickly learns this is to be true from the locals.
Now, a new band of defenders has entered the city, claiming to be holy defenders of justice. Now, while Clovis and his team aren't perfect law-abiding citizens, they aren't as detestable as the frauds known as the White Capes.
But
Sure, in public they act great and benevolent, but in private, they're dicks because they take bribes. Beat and mistreat any who claim has turned into darkness.
for anybody that thinks, yes, and this is totally inspired by the White Cloaks from Wheel of Time. Clovis believes that in their headquarters, their leader, a silver-tongued female elf veteran named Sorsasta, keeps detailed records of both their legal and illicit activities locked in a safe. The party must gather evidence and recover the documents to prove they are dangerous to keep in the city. Also, getting rid of Clovis's competition and keeping him and his thieving crew gainfully employed, he sees it as an absolute win.
Yep.
What do you guys think about this?
Oh, there's a few fun ways you can go about this.
So, let me get this right. You have some bad guys, but not so bad guys, that are already in this town, and some other bad guys, but not so bad guys, come into the town. They're like, no.
Oh, no, the other not so bad guys are bad guys. They just pretend to not be bad guys.
Okay, I
It's a
get
big
it.
difference, right? So it's like the
yeah.
difference of having a group of adventurers be thieves.
Yep.
They'll do some sketchy stuff, but in the end, they're good. These other people pretend to be good, but are always doing sketchy stuff and bad stuff. And because of that, it creates this kind of interesting scenario for the players, because now they have to make a decision for themselves.
We're not thieves. Well, we are thieves, but that's not the point. We didn't steal with this. This one.
Okay. So for this one, obviously, if you can use the here's the crime thing to experiment and run this, because I think that this is a good opportunity to test the moral ambiguity of your players, because you can really expand upon both of these groups of people, right?
Mhm.
And while we outright say that the group that Clovis has is good, the White Rabbits, the White Rabbits,
White Rabbits, White Capes.
you could have a few in there when the players are investigating, finding that some of them that are in the White Rabbits aren't good. The group as a whole is, but there might be some sketchy people in there that are really bad, and vice versa. You might find some of the White Cloaks. Nope.
Capes.
The White Capes. Please don't sue me.
Watch those copyrights.
May actually be good, but the rest of them are really bad. So you can really expand upon that with your party, and especially having showing the extremes of the two groups is really, really good too, I think. So the idea of maybe some of the players not having the skill set necessary to get into to get in alone to get the evidence that they need. So do you guys have anything you'd like to add to this?
No.
All
Right.
right.
On them.
Stormcloaks. Yes.
Fucking Stormcloaks.
I'm just telling, just like if you wear a cape or a cloak, you're bad. Why do you think Mr. Incredible doesn't wear one?
Never trust a guy in a tunic.
Garwin says mine would work with both, but steal and sabotage them and then establish their own thieves guild. You know what? That would be really fun. I think that would be cool in and of its own self. So, all right. I think that'll do it for our encounter of the podcast. Brandon, would you like to tell us about our magic item?
Our magic item for this week is the Superior Thieves Tools, wondrous and uncommon. This set of tools includes superior crafting thieving items, a small file, a set of lockpicks, a small mirror mounted on a metal handle for looking around those corners, a set of narrow-bladed scissors, and a pair of pliers are all crafted with excellent precision.
This reduces the wear and tear and the likelihood of damaging during use.
What?
Proficiency.
What did you say?
Proficiency with these tools lets you add your proficiency bonus to any ability checks you make to disarm or open locks. The superior craftsman of these tools grants you a +1 bonus to all ability checks that the tools use.
But wait, there's more.
Oh my!
The thieves' tools can also be used to imbue a lock or passageway with arcane magic.
What?
As an action, you can cast the arcane lock spell from the tools. This feature cannot be used again until next dawn.
Oh, okay.
Dulcinia's a little disappointed. What? No rakes, bum keys, or pressure picks? You can put in it whatever you want.
Okay. So, these tools can use the arcane lock spell. Not twice, not 3 times, but once.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that a problem?
No. This is all going on Billy Mays. I was
Oh!
Really amazing.
I was just like, wait, did I do something wrong? So yes, I've done this once before where I made superior versions of another toolkit, and this is my attempt at thieves tools. What do you guys think?
the arcane lock spell is kind of awesome. So
You
I
like
have
that?
no idea what the arcane lock spell says.
basically, you lock anything that opens or closes magically, and the DC to break this thing is 25.
That's a very high DC.
Yes, it is.
But this is once again it's I wanted magical tools, okay? Because there's no magical tools. Like I don't know. It just is something that I thought was fun. And Andrew says, "Oh, I want those tools." Well, if you head on over to critacademy.com/blog, you can find this episode show notes and get the text for yourself. Copy and paste that biatch. Or you can pick up one of our Honor Tips and Tricks magazines because this will be in next month's.
I was actually a little disappointed because when he started going on the rant, it's like, oh, you want these tools? Well, you can go to critacademy.com. I was like, we sell shit like this? I'm like, oh man.
I don't have no skills
I want
to
a
do
new,
that.
new set of lock picks. That'd be fun.
Well,
Also, don't get too disappointed with the Decker Cane.
I thought I did a good job.
You do a Russian accent like none other. I can't do that at all. Every time you do, I go.
I
"You
just
were
want to
good
know.
It was
my
good. It
Decker
was just
Cane-
quiet.
My Decker Cane may not be that good.
Decker Cane.
Whatever. Whatever.
Decker tainted.
Decker tainted. But it's the effort that counts.
Yes, it is.
Dulcinea says, I love it when my rogue player would literally backstab a
bitch to
fuck
get it.
A bitch. I don't know what it says. It's blocked out.
Well, it makes more sense. I love it when my rogue player would literally backstab a bitch to get it.
Stealing it from another rogue. All right. This is pretty straightforward. If you really like this, make sure to let me know inside the comments, and I'll try to make a superior and master crafts of all of the tools, assuming anybody even wants that. So, did I give you the first on all these?
Yes.
I clearly wasn't paying attention. Brandon, would you like to tell us about our Dungeon Master?
Yes, a Dungeon Master tip. All part of the plan. This is another reference to the whole capes and stuff that we're doing. Cards. Characters in the world of D&D are not reflective of their players.
Okay.
You sure about that?
Or maybe they're players' inhibitions.
A great example of this is a player who creates a high intelligence. Sorry. A great example of this is a player who creates a high intelligence character such as a wizard, saying that the player is opposite because they're fucking stupid. Because of this, there should be times where a genius level creature or a seedy rogue may have put plans into action ahead of a complex plan. This is purely from a narrative perspective.
Now, keep in mind, no matter how high your wizard's intelligence is, he's only as smart as the player playing him.
That's why I think this tip is necessary. Because I'm this player. I love playing wizards and I love playing barbarian. I can play a stupid barbarian all day. I cannot play a smart wizard. So I think adding the all part of the plan cards is a great way to include this in your games. When the characters come across a challenge, a card can be played to help them overcome a particular challenge with an auto success. Of course, you only give out one of these to each player. And I would recommend making sure that that player's has a certain maybe like stat requirement if you want. But think of it as an old get out of free jail card from Monopoly. You know what I mean? These are dealt out freely, but you only get one. And once again, it's meant for characters that are very intelligent.
Okay, let's talk about a few examples. I know a guy. This guy's very simple. An ally of the character, likely off screen, made an agreement with the character to help in case they ended up in a sticky situation. A sticky situation kind of like this one.
Yes.
Okay. Wrong place, right time. This card allows the characters to easily escape an encounter that would likely reveal them.
Ooh.
A common example would be running into patrols, and it turns out one is an old friend and safely allows you to escape notice.
How about another one? Just what I needed. A character, the characters are caught in a situation, whether it's forethought or a complete happenstance, they have exactly what they need to overcome the challenge. Okay, Batman. That little belt holds everything.
I'm Batman.
Need some plutonium? I got it.
Dulcinea is pointing out this is like the I know a guy UTT you guys once did. Yes. It's very similar. I think that was a player tip for rogues, maybe. I don't remember, but
And part of the criminal background.
yeah. And this one is something that you can give to any creature of high intelligence or somebody that might have criminal contacts is a great example of this, right? I would even give that player too.
Yeah.
But what do you guys think about this?
Handy. And can speed things along when you're stuck.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying.
And because let's be honest, it can be very challenging to play a highly intelligent character. I know I can't do it very well because I'm not highly intelligent. So having a feature or an optional feature that does that is certainly really good.
I had Troy do that.
Yep.
He was playing an average character, but he's fairly intelligent. But it's really funny what happened. I brought up a little puzzle, and it's a chess puzzle. It was white to move, checkmate in 2 moves. He's like, man, I can't remember how to fucking play chess. Can I just do an intelligence roll? Oh shit, yeah, I guess you can. I'm like, oh yeah, you figure it out.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you should allow. Andrew says that could be a good way to use the inspiration. Allow someone to use the inspiration to auto succeed on a skill that they are both proficient with and have stats for. I think that that's a really great idea. Instead of giving them cards, maybe that's a new utility for inspiration points.
Yep.
So, all right. I think that'll do it for our Dungeon Master tip. Our player tip of the podcast is
Don't be a dick! And if you want to avoid dickitude,
Damn, that was aggressive.
or in some cases, cause it, minor illusion. Sometimes better than disengage.
Oh, God, yes.
Wait, what?
When you look at this shit, most players hate to feel like they're wasting their action when it comes to taking the disengage action to retreat. But what if I told you there's a better way?
Well, if you can cast minor illusion cantrip, at least there is. While disengage allows you to avoid opportunity attacks, the enemy can still see where you're moving to. With minor illusion, you can create a barrier of your chosen type, then retreat.
Now, if you don't know, and I just found this out, opportunity attacks require that the enemy be able to see the target to make the attack. On top of that, the illusionary wall will block line of sight, allowing them to duck for cover. Additionally, it is very possible that the wall will force a loss of movement for the enemy because they might have to walk. They might try to walk around it or waste an action confirming it's an illusion.
Yeah. Either way, minor illusion is better than disengage.
Yes.
Way to
Like-
take advantage of the fucking book.
Sorry. I don't mean to be a douche. Okay, yeah, maybe. Yes, I think this is awesome. And now every single one of my characters are going to be an elf, so I can get minor illusion free. Unless I'm a rogue, of course, because you can disengage as a bonus action. But this for spellcasters is amazing. Because not only are you providing cover from ranged attacks, that person can't see where you go. You can duck away from them and all avoiding attacks. You're welcome. Do you guys got anything to add to that? Like, obviously, you look stunned over here.
I'm not stunned. It's just it defeats the purpose of what the player tip is supposed to be.
What? Don't be a dick?
Yeah.
A lot of them are.
Right?
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Originally, it started off as clean shit up and take notes and show up on time. Now it's devolved into whatever shit I can find. Sometimes it's player role play. Sometimes it's mechanics like this.
Yep.
I'm going to be honest. This is awesome.
Yeah,
And I'm going to... Oh, by the way, if you happen to have minor illusion, this is going to be perfect for our Clash of Classes episode that's coming up on Thursday.
Oh, don't be giving away hints to the players.
Yeah, dick.
It's a
That's what my show's about.
It's a competition between them.
Well, now one person's going to have a
They're
leg
not
up.
supposed to have a coach in their corner. Like, come on, you got that minor illusion. Get in there. Get that fucking
Yeah.
wizard.
You know it's going to come up, right?
Yeah, not gonna lie though. There are times where that's kind of hard to do when I'm repping. Okay, are you using this feature? Sometimes I kind of have to ask sometimes
Yeah.
just for clarification.
Wait, for you guys watching on TikTok, Thursday the 13th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on YouTube, we're going to be doing a Clash of Clans.
Clash of Classes.
Clash of Classes.
Did I say clans?
Are you going to
Yes.
get us sued?
No, that's your fault. Because
not
you
my
can
fault.
You can call me. Yeah, it's kind of a ripoff of Clash of Clans. No, Clash of Classes. We're going to have a Circle of the Moon Druid versus the Wizard Blade Slinger.
Blade Singer.
Singer.
They don't sling the blade, though. That's an awesome character concept.
Yeah.
All right, so how about we close this up? We're super excited for Clash of Classes. Hopefully, it'll come out. The
Clash of
first
Clans.
one blew us away. The audience response was awesome. We're super excited. Hopefully, you'll come and join us. We've got some good surprises. All right, with that, that'll do it for our player tip.
Don't be a dick.
Or be a dick. And you cannot avoid dickitude by making things just more obnoxious for your DM. All right. Before we close out today, we have our weekly giveaway. Brandon, would you like to tell us about it?
RPG Fat Loot Giveaway. The Grandmother Tree by Purple Bog Press. Cookie Swarms. Bubble Traps. A 3-story tree house. That sounds fun.
That does.
A Grandmother Tree is a whimsical adventure about friendship aimed at the elementary kids and kids at heart who love the problem-solving and adventuring part of playing Dungeons and Dragons and enjoy resolving encounters with less combat.
Yeah.
See, you don't got to stab everyone. Bust out that minor illusion and run away.
You don't have to stab everyone.
Yeah, but that's also part of the fun sometimes.
Yes, it is.
All right, who's our winner today, Ian?
Our winner today is Mech Narf.
It sounds like an evil villain.
I
Menard.
just thought Snarf. Snarf!
McNarf.
All right, congratulations. Woo! Clap, fuckers, clap. Thank you. To Snarf, Big Narf.
Snarf! Big Snarf!
If you didn't win, no problem. You can head on over to critacademy.com and subscribe to our newsletter for a chance to win. I honestly, if you're not signed up, you really need to be. We've been giving away some free fat loots in our newsletter, so please consider checking it out and keeping up to date. If you're not following us right now, please hit that subscribe, share this episode with your friends, help the internet's algorithm tell everyone how great we are.
Wait for you to be like, if you're not following us right now, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I mean, clearly they're watching a show, so those already watching it already follow us.
But are they subscribed?
Touche.
All right. If you enjoy the show and you'd like to support us, head on over to critacademy.com. We've got all kinds of fat loot you can buy. There's some free stuff too. We give away lots of good stuff. We want to fill your hoard with D&D.
Yep.
Did I miss anything?
No more than usual.
Oh, God, I hate you sometimes. All right. Well, let's close out then. I am your host, Justin.
I'm your host, Ian.
I'm your co-host, Brandon. Thanks for listening.
Are we going to do this all together, you guys?
Sure.
Keep your blades sharp and spells prepared, heroes.
God, I sound like a Saturday morning cartoon.